Hello, everyone, and welcome to the second to last race of the HRL MegaMix Series Grand Finals run Navagio GP here. As you can see, it is a Halo 3 GP, this one forged by Detail. And originally this was supposed to be Sonoran, a Halo 3 TRS. And then essentially what happened is I remembered that this track existed. And I was like, oh, yeah, this track's pretty cool. And it's a little more unique. We already raced a Halo 3 TRS in the regular season. And also, we're going to have that other Halo 3 week that kind of got chalked, but that was going to be different than TRS as well. And this actually ended up being more different than TRS than that week was going to be anyways, if that makes sense. So it kind of like filled the void, right? It kind of filled the void. Like it still was a Halo 3 race, but it also kind of filled that void from what we were going to do in the regular season. Oh yeah, starting order as well. Right to left, it's Elite Optics, Soul, Real Deal, Slaunch, Hunter, Detail, and Luke running him out. There we go. So yeah, my pacing was a little bit off right there. Did I get through that other tangent, fill in the void? Yeah, I don't know. This track's fucking cool. All right, that's why we're racing it. If this sounds a little weird, pacing wise and whatever, compared to the other Grand Finals commentaries, well, that's because I'm re-recording this one. That's not the case for any of the other ones. Well, technically, I'm going to re-record a little bit of the end of the next one as well, but I'll get to that. But yeah, so the original commentary for this is just going to be a timed exclusive for anyone that was there. It was one of the commentaries of all time. That's all I'll say. It was yeah, I had some fun with it, and we'll leave it at that. So we're re-recording this commentary here after the fact. It wasn't that crazy. Honestly, I've probably had ones that were worse, but the real reason, aside from the cheesiness of it, Detail with an all-time legacy start, by the way, by the end of lap 1, already gets to the lead. I mean, I know it's his track, and I know it's a type of, game and racing combo. We haven't done a Halo 3 GP before. That, all those being said, like, that start was absurd. That start was absurd. Go back and rewatch it if you want. His last to first challenge in one lap is really impressive. Like, I'm not trying to overgas. That is genuinely probably one of the best highlights on the season. That was absolutely insane. So shout out to him on that. Already puts himself in a pretty good position to maybe extend his streak. He's on 2 wins in a row in this grand final right now. And this would be a big win for him if he can go on to take it after that crazy start, because it'd make it 3 in a row. It'd put him in a very good position in points, and we'll have to see how the other 2 main contenders at this point, Slaunch and Luke, do for the rest of this race to see like where that points gap ends up. But I gotta say he's in a very good spot right now. Early on in this race, 16 lap race, by the way, 16 lap race for this one. He's in a great spot. Obviously, he's familiar with the track. He's had an incredible start. Slaunch and Luke are still like around top 5-ish, and he's just leading and made a slight mistake there, I think, but I mean, he's got a lot of room to work with there. So yeah, absolute legacy start from Detail, and he's off to potentially another win here if he can hold on to it. But yeah, I'll jump in with the actual commentary and not because part of the other reason why I wanted to re-record this is there's some other reveals. So obviously, like recently, we've been more used to like revealing the next season. I feel like we've been doing it like in the middle of the current season pretty consistently for a while now, or to some extent, something like that. This one's a little delayed, right? This one's a little delayed. If it feels a little delayed, it has been a little delayed. I'm literally throwing up the videos for the grand finals. It's the grand finals recap at this point, right? It's over. And we haven't announced it yet. So I'm going to say a little preview for tomorrow's race at the end of just stick around for at the end of tomorrow's race. So just make sure you stick around to the end of that video. Don't turn it off too quickly. If you want a slight preview at what the next season is, hint, nothing. Nope. I didn't say anything. But yeah, if you want, if you want a little bit of a preview you know, if you're curious about what the next season is, just make sure you're sticking around to the end of that one. So that'll be tomorrow. That'll be the last race of the grand final. It's Pocono, and there will be there may or may not be some intel. There may or may not be some intel. All right, so just stick around for that one. Meanwhile, update in the race. I believe it's Real Deal up to second. I think it's Luke battling by Slaunch right there, getting Slaunch for third. So that's a big pass because Slaunch, Luke, and Detail are all battling with each other at this point in the grand final. Real Deal being in second is pretty important. If Luke and Slaunch want to have a chance, it's still competing with Detail for this championship because obviously Detail, you know, if he makes this 3 in a row, he's going to have a pretty big advantage. Luke and Slaunch are going to have to minimize that point loss as much as they can. So they're going to really want to get by Real Deal here. And if one or both of them can't, that could spice things up and really help Detail out as well. So even though Real Deal is not in like the championship fight for this grand final, he hasn't gotten a podium yet. He's in a good position to potentially do it in this race. He definitely wants to get a podium on the board. And he could still play a big role in, well, for one, he could make big gains for his own points battles. He's got his own points battles that he's still worried about and working towards. And he can actually play a big role in the champ fight here too, depending on, you know, how he finishes, how well he does here. So that's kind of an interesting aspect of this race that we're almost halfway through right now. But yeah, so I mentioned that about the other one. And then also I can drop some other intel. So today, this race is dropping on Friday. Today, there's no race. Or no racing. Next week, there's no racing. But on the Friday of June 21st, this is more of a reminder, we are doing that track voting, Blast from the Past style tournament. We're going to go through a lot of those OG tracks. And honestly, a lot of them we've raced a lot of times. We've raced them plenty of times for some of those. Like Amazon 1 in particular, raced that a lot recently. Even those hog ones, even though the hogs are relatively fresh, even some of those hog bangers are like getting up there in terms of how many times we've raced them. So, how am I putting this? So, like, I want to try to get some new tracks in there for future series. Not that we won't race any of these classics again, but it could be the last time that we race some of these for a bit, right? You don't know when these tracks are going to pop up. So there's basically what I'm saying is there's some really good just bangers of tracks in that tournament, and I would definitely recommend showing up to it if you can to, put on a good show and get to race those again for, however long till we get to race them again. I don't know how long it'll be. I don't know if we will. Because again, a lot of those tracks we've raced many times, and there was a lot of, old ground. There was a lot of new stuff too in the MegaMix series, but there was a lot of old ground recovered as well. And something, this is like hintish for new series as well. I definitely want to, cover some more new ground and get back to making some new experiences and stuff, which we did have plenty of in this series as well, spread out. There's plenty, but it was a good mix, right? It was the MegaMix series. There's a good mix, but I do want to get back to, more new stuff than not, if we can. So yeah, if you like those old bangers and you want another chance, yeah, definitely couple weeks down the road, that's when it'll be. Don't miss it and show up to that tournament. I think it'll be really fun. Now, the week after that, June 28th, that'll be an off week. The battle's opening up for second here, by the way. Luke and Real Deal, this battle's really opening up. It's a super important battle here as well. But yeah, so it's the 28th. That'll be an off week as well. The new season will start, as I believe Luke completes the pass there. The new season will start on July 5th. So, aside from the tournament that's mixed in the middle, MegaMix series was a long series, and I think it deserves a long amount of time off as well. So you get essentially a month off. It's kind of slightly less than that, I suppose, because there is the tournament week, but it's like basically a month off. So, I've been saying in the other ones, enjoy your month off. You're gonna have that much time. Can confirm new series start July 5th, 2024. So keep that date marked on your calendars because that's when we'll see the new series begin. How long will the new series last? That's a little bit, we're going to have to wait a bit on that one too. That'll be future intel. Intel that likely will be dropped in the recap. I'm just going through it. So, today, this race, tomorrow, last race, Sunday, I'm going to throw up a recap. And the recap obviously will recap the grand final, but I'm going to throw in some extra stuff in there as well. I'm going to throw in another look at the tournament schedule. And, because I said there'd, maybe not be that teaser somewhat type announcement, whatever, at the end of the Pocono race, that'll be out there for the season. And in the recap, after I'm done recapping the grand final, there's also going to be some stuff in that recap, some more information about like what exactly the next series is, and I don't want to go too much into it, but more related to that as well. So yeah, stick around for sure late in the next few videos if you're interested on new season stuff. There'll be some good stuff in there for you guys if you're curious on that. Finally, it's really, I'm really excited to say this too, because it's not a thing where we didn't have ideas and that's why it's taken so long. It's actually the opposite. We've had like too many different directions to go, I'd say, and been kind of getting pulled in different directions, and it was kind of difficult to make a final decision. We finally arrived at one, and I feel really good about it. I'm really liking the idea of this new series, and I'm really looking forward to being able to share it with everybody soon and talk more about it openly and have it out there and get to answer questions. Can answer questions about it once that's revealed too, and figure out like Forge wise and stuff like that. Anything to do with that, any help needed there or whatever. Yeah, a lot of stuff to do with that. So I'm really looking forward to that. And I think it's going to be, I don't know. I think people are going to, I think you guys are going to be excited. We're on white flag now, by the way. The only last hint is like, you're not going to see it coming. It's going to be something unexpected. So that'll be cool, I think. Kind of, something different. Kind of like how we had the RX series in the middle of last year. It'll be something different. But white flag last time around for detail here. And yeah, just absolutely dominant race from him. And he's going to do it. He's going to make it 3 in a row. 3 in a row in the middle of the grand final. Strong streak from detail here. A big statement. And that is going to put him, Luke, in second there. That's going to put him with a 5-point advantage as Real Deal takes third. Detail will have a 5-point advantage over Luke going into the last race. Opix fourth. Now, what about Slaunch? Soul fifth. Oh my god, Slaunch is under pressure too. And Slaunch takes sixth. And Elite and Hunter seventh and eighth. I'm sorry, Elite and Hunter. I genuinely can't tell. I'll look it up right now. Which is which. But just to point this out, Slaunch with that 6th place finish, unfortunately, he is out. So it is for the championship. So it is between Luke and Detail now for that grand finals title. And again, Detail has the 5-point advantage. Slaunch, unfortunately, was just short. He was just short in that race right there. He needed to stay mathematically eligible. Slaunch needed literally one more position, at least one more position. He would have stayed mathematically eligible, and unfortunately, he was one short. Yeah, super unfortunate there. Double checking, it was Hunter that got last. Elite got 7th. Okay, there you go. But yeah, so it's going to be between Detail and Luke. It's a 5-point gap, 5-point advantage for Detail. And Slaunch could still take second from Luke, but he's a bit too short of Detail. Again, he needed one more position to stay mathematically possible in this race. So that's unfortunate. Really sad because this was an epic like 3-way battle between them, like this entire grand final. And it would have been cool to see it be another 3-way battle all the way to the end. We haven't had one of those in a while. That being said, it went super far and it was still really close. And Slaunch was right there again, just missed out on the eligibility by 1 point. Shout out to Slaunch for this grand final, though. He's made a great run. Congrats to Detail on another win. Hope you guys enjoyed watching the race. And yeah, stick around for Pocono. It's going to be a banger of a finale to this grand final. See you there.